Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. On the Sword Coast, your allies will help with blazing bows and magic as well. Hey, hey, heroes on their way. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get you all out there. Idle champions, you will set again. Idle champions. From Waterdeep to Icewind Dale, head out to Chull or Shadowfell, hey, hey. Together we stay. Walk to the monsters, walk to the boss, walk to the right, it's never a loss, hey, hey. Bad guys to slay. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get you all out there. Idle champions, you will set again. Idle champions.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Gaarawarr's Guide, the tutorial show. The tutorial show where the codes go live when I do. I'm not live until I appear on the screen. I'm inert. I'm actually a construct, an animatronic construct. That's something they've tried to keep secret from all of you for a while, but oops, spoilers. Finally, spoilers on my show. Speaking of the code, you can come over here, unlock a locked chest, copy paste. It's Hungry Far Realm. Hungry. Because today we're talking about Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Far Realm. Hunger of the Far Realm and the 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 champions that will be arriving, be playing in Hunger of the Far Realm. Oh, oops, there's only 3 in the game. Wow. Thanks. There's only 3 of the upcoming champions that are going to be playing in Hunger of the Far Realm actually in the game right now. But a 4th is arriving Wednesday. If you're watching this live, Wednesday, October 19th, Kent will arrive in the game. Kent, a member of the Rivals of Waterdeep, the penultimate rival to arrive. And then Virgil, at some point in the future. But right now, we've got Evelyn, we've got Walnut, we've got Strix. You might remember them. From such hits as Dice Camera Action and Acquisitions Incorporated, the C Team, and the crossover episode, and the Ack Inc. live games. They've been all over the place. They've been all over, and now they're going into Wild Space. Wild Space. Oh, camera lights. Why do lights in your face always make you tear up, folks? Yeah. So today, Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Farm Realm. You've probably seen this little box showing up here. We're going to talk about all of this today. Joining me on the production side, grabbing your questions out of chat, and making sure nobody's doing bad things in chat. Martin is with us today again. So if you do have a question, post it like I put in the box down below. Martin will grab them and store them in our bag of holding until the second half of the show, and then they will pull them out carefully one by one and hand them to me, and I will answer them. That's how the show works. So for the first half, I'm going to talk at you. We'll cover the way Idle Champions Presents works, what it is, how it works. We'll cover the champions that we have information on. And then we'll take a short break, and then we'll come back, and we will do all the questions. All the questions. All of them. Every last one. So, Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Far Realm. First off, this is a TTRPG live play show. What does that mean? It's a tabletop role-playing game. They're playing it live. So when it streams, you get to watch and see what's going on. At least I think they should be playing it live. In the past, they played it live. And basically, we get to... It runs for 6 weeks. So there's 6 episodes. It's going to stream on Mondays. Monday evenings, specifically speaking. You have a timer here in chat that should be local to you. And the way everything works here is basically we get to vote the week before the episode. We get to vote on things that are going to happen in the episode. So you get 6 days of voting before an episode arrives, because the episode is on the 7th day. There's no voting on the 7th day. There's the episode on the 7th day. And every time you vote, you get a reward token. You can see I have one banked up here. And then we can get fun loot with that. Fun, subjective, but there's some pretty cool things sometimes. So you'll see down here, you'll see clips in this interface. You'll see clips to past episodes. The last one of these, this is not once a Hunger of the Far Realm episode happens and gets uploaded to the YouTube, it'll end up linked here. You'll have a little heads up on fun stuff in the shop, like this is a skin that you can get for Strix. I know it's called Spelljammer Strix, but let's be honest, this is conspiracy theorist Strix. It's totally with the aluminum foil hat. I mean, come on. And she's got all the little red lines going everywhere on this apron. Oh, it's pretty fantastic. This one comes with a familiar Kuba, the baby space swine. There's a pretty nice feat. And a gem hunter potion. But there's a few of these. So they're going to highlight those in the little interface. If we come over here, boom, we've got voting. So you go and you vote every day. I don't want this to sound dismissive. I just want you to understand what you vote for doesn't matter in terms of rewards. It used to be, once upon a time, there was a different reward attached to each vote. And that was bad, okay? Because people just voted for the reward they want and not for what was going on. Now you just pick what you want. Like, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a GIF wedding party? The tavern is unusually busy tonight because of a GIF wedding party, which are the huge, hippo folk. Or kobold speed dating. Well, the community, I'm going to call this overwhelmingly, decided they want to see kobold speed dating. I happen to vote for that, too. Because, of course, come on. Once you vote, you get a reward token. Yay, reward token. And then you can come over here to this reward shop. It's down here at the bottom left. And you can pick from this list of rewards. You can see there's 7 rewards, but there's only 6 days. Gaarawarr, what's going on? This last one is actually just something as long as you collect 3 of the rewards. And 3 reward tokens and spend your 3 tokens on at least 3 things out of this list, you get something free. And for the first week, it's a Chewinga riding a space guppy familiar. if you're new to the game, things writing other things is a thing. It might be fairies writing something. In this case, it's a Chewingo writing something. It's just go with it, folks. Just go with it. It's a bit. It's a whole bit. It's a whole bit. So you buy what you want. It'll mark it off. You can only buy things once. They have a mix of, really nice things like, hey, a gold chest for something, and then some things that are like, okay. I mean, they're nice, but it's like, eh. So if you end up not being able to vote every week, it's not the worst thing in the world. But at least try to do however many votes for the reward each week. And then you can stock up your tokens. Maybe you're going to be maybe during week 2, you're not going to be around. So maybe you stock up the rest of your reward tokens. And when you return in week 3, you'll be able to go back and buy rewards from week 2. You can't vote anymore, but you can buy rewards from week 2. So even if I get to the end, even I go all 6 weeks, I vote every day, but I don't buy anything, I can go back and I can buy whatever I want with however many tokens I have. All right, so just know the tokens stick around, the rewards stick around. The voting doesn't stick around. So you do have to log in every day to vote to get a token. You don't necessarily have to spend that token every day or even every week. All right. So let's see what we've got. We got our Spelljammer's attacked by space pirates this week. Who are they? Githyanki or vampirates? I mean, come on. Come on. Had to be. It's October, folks. It had to be vampirates. I'm proud of you all. Vampirates. So these are the kinds of things. And then at some point, the dungeon master of... they don't have... Wow. I just realized... they did not put all the information of the people linked in here. So let me just grab that so I don't mispronounce. I don't forget. I will forget people's last names, folks. First names I will remember most of the time. Last names I will forget. Dungeon Master, which is not. This is not here. I'm going to link you to the. Let me permanently link you to the Far Realm blog. Mondays, 4 p.m. Pacific on this channel, 4 p.m. Pacifically speaking, starting October 17th. That's 2 days from now. Dungeon Master B. Dave Walters, who is the creator of Freely in the game. So Freely may show up at some point, too, just because why not? Anna Prosser, who plays Evelyn. Brian Gray. Brian Gray, who plays Virgil, who is not in the game yet, but will be. Eugenio Vargas, who plays Kent, the upcoming Kent. Holly Conrad, who plays Strix, and Tristan Falcone, who plays Walnut. So all of these people are going to be arriving. And who knows, in the past, folks, there have been a few of these now. In the past, there have been surprise guests. I don't know that it's going to happen this time, but you never know. You never know. We had a lot of surprise guests on one episode. A lot. Like a whole lot. So you never know what's going to happen with these things, folks. So make sure to tune in. Let's see. What was the third one we had so far? This week, Evelyn acquires a new magical item. What type of magical item is it? This one, folks, I know people are like, "What? It's tied." It's tied, though. Well, I mean, it's not. They just round up or down. They don't do the decimal places. Maybe they should. Maybe I should probably give them feedback. Put 2 decimal places in, just in case. So this was 50 point something, and this was 49 point something. This doesn't happen often, especially because unlike with Twitch votes, we can't see the results. So this is neat. This is neat. I voted for a utility item, but oh well. Oh well. And then this is the vote for today. I saved it so you could see, folks. Like, this is super difficult. Look, you just click on the vote. I googled what a fair is. Someone should have warned me. It's not fair that someone didn't warn me. Oh, they're bad, folks. folks. I don't know what Clockwork Horrors are probably bad too. I mean, we're going to the far realms, so things are going to get weird. Things are going to get weird. I would not want to go downstairs into the hold of my ship and find this. I don't think I would want to find this either, but I'm still going to vote Clockwork Horrors. I'm still going to go Clockwork Horrors because clockwork things are cool. That's how I'm making my decision, folks. And you can make your decision just like that too. It's fine. Votes reset noon Pacifically. Noon Pacifically, so make sure to get your vote in before noon. And then go buy your reward from the shop. Boom. Yes, I'm sure I want that Evelyn Gold chest. Yay, I have an Evelyn Gold chest now. And then, hey, I can claim that Chewingo riding a space guppy familiar. Yes, I'm sure I want that. Look at it. Look at it. Let's go get it out on the field. Let's go get it out. Oh, that's the wrong button. Gaarawarr. This one. There we go. There we go. Look at that. It's fishing. It's just doing a little fishing while riding a fish, which seems problematic. But sure. But sure. Who else we got? Well, we got Scotty the Rescue Dog. Let's just throw some more familiars out there. There we go. Yeah, so that's how all the interface stuff works. Oh, I need to buy something else. I don't need to buy something else. You know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold on to my tokens. I can come back and pick these up if I want. But here's one thing you can do. You can save up the next 3 so that when week 2 opens, if there is a vote 3 times, get a reward, you can just buy 3 things and get a reward on day 1. On day 1. I think I'm going to do that. Because why not? Why not? It's not fishing, it's using the lure to fish. Oh, it's using it to lure the fish. So kind of like holding the carrot before the horse. That's a dumb fish, if that's working. But, maybe. Sure. I never quite understood that. But sure. Sure, I mean, I guess that's, let's turn, go down, go up. How do you get it to stop, though? Do you hide it? I don't know. That's not what we're here to talk about, though. Folks, let's talk about these 3 champions on the field right now. Evelyn, Avalona, Helvig, Marthane. I think I got that right from memory. Pretty proud of myself if I did. Is it over here somewhere? Evelyn, human paladin of Lathander. Here, I gotta get this in the camera. Praise Lathander. I may have watched this show a few times, folks. Taking support, neutral good, member of the Waffle Crew. Basic attack is the Mighty Axe. Evelyn smashes the frontmost enemy with her enormous battle axe. Every 3rd attack, she cleaves all nearby enemies as well. So she does get a little bit of an AoE on the 3rd, but she's not a DPS. However, this could be good for spreading effects, much like say, Freely's Luck of Yondala. Every 3rd attack, it would then spread to everybody as long as the alignment matches what Freely has selected in their specialization choice. So it's good to know what base attacks do in that situation, even if they're not a DPS, right? Evelyn's Lathander's Grace increases the max health of Evelyn by 100%. This is unusual for a tank to just have like a, hey, let's just double your health as an ability. This got added in it's my recollection, this got added in a rework because at the time Evelyn's health was not so great. Evelyn used to be a not so great health tank. Now Evelyn's a great health tank, so yay. So Evelyn's got a lot of health. Divine Prayer increases the damage of all champions behind Evelyn in the formation by an amount. This is fantastic. This is very freeing. It's not within a couple things or in the column directly behind. It's literally the entire length of the formation. So, no matter what, even with gaps in the formation, like we're getting in the Light of Rix's campaign, doesn't matter. It'll jump those gaps. It's everyone behind her. So that's very freeing when you're using Evelyn as a DPS. Channel Divinity. After Evelyn hits an enemy, Divine Prayer is buffed by 100% for 15 seconds. Oh, well, we jumped Divine Prayer. Back up, Gaarawarr. Okay, Divine Prayer. This is the core of Evelyn's kit. So, of course, I skipped it. This increases the damage of all champions behind Evelyn formation by 400%, by 4,000%. This is what we were talking about. It's not 4,000% for everybody. But I needed to point out, this is the core of her kit. It is what makes the little things appear above her head. That's this little sun. It's this sun with lots of little rays. That is your Divine Prayer tracker. Other abilities feed into Divine Prayer. If those abilities are not active, it's a white ray. If they are active, it's a golden ray. Okay? This is one of the more clear indicators. As long as you understand what's going on, it's one of the more clear indicators of effects in the game. So like right now, and it's based on the list. So right now, her third ability that funnels into Divine Prayer is functional. The second one seems to be going off and on. The fourth is non-functional, and the fifth we haven't even unlocked yet. That's how you can tell. Okay. So, Channel Divinity. After Evelyn hits an enemy, Divine Prayer is buffed by 100% for 15 seconds. So that's the first ray. It's only going to go off after she hits something. Steadfast Might increases the effect of Divine Prayer by 100% for each enemy attacking Evelyn and or each enemy in rage stack. So when she gets attacked, that's going to light up. If she hasn't, it's not. Conduit of the Light. After an ally effectively heals Evelyn, Divine Prayer is buffed by 100% for 15 seconds. So there's another one. That one means she wants to be healed. So having a healer that's either if you want it always on, you need a healer that's always healing. Otherwise, it's something. It can be healers that only heal if you've been injured, and then this would only trigger once things get to her. Specialization choices. Fighting style protection or compelled duel. Compelled duel is pretty straightforward. This is when she's the only tank. In my opinion, I use this one. I tend to use fighting style protection if there's more than just her. And then I use in the tank line. And then I use compelled duel if it's just her. Now, you could use compelled duel also if it's her and only one other tank. But I just tend to go... I personally just do it differently. So compelled duel. After Evelyn attacks an enemy that has recently attacked her, Divine Prayer is buffed by 300% for 15 seconds. So if she's going back and forth with somebody that's attacking her, you get a buff. Fighting style protection, I refer to this as mom arm, because that's kind of how she used it in the game. Like, I protect them. She does the mom arm reach out thing in the car. Yeah. After an ally of Evelyn is attacked by an enemy, Divine Prayer is buffed by 300% for 15 seconds. Notice it says after an ally of Evelyn is attacked, not another tank. So this is also fantastic even in a single tank formation if you're fighting AoE enemies that rain down damage on your whole party or multiple columns, because it will keep this going. It will keep this going. All right, we're going to throw down the compelled duel though. And that lights up, that's that fifth ray of sunshine. All right, Font of Heroism. This one's pretty high up there. You get all of her abilities before she actually shares her health with anyone, which is okay. Just doesn't help the rest of your party out too much if you've got to wait for all of this. So this is to increase the health of all champions by 25% of Evelyn's max health. Again, she has a solid health. So she shares. She's good if you need lots of health in your party with her health share. You just got to get her up that high first. Her ultimate, Find Steed. Evelyn summons her Celestial Pegasus and dashes across the battlefield, damaging all enemies in a line for massive damage and briefly stunning all damaged enemies. So here we go. There it is. Boom. And back. And back. So that's Evelyn, folks. Item-wise, increase the damage of all champions. She gets a Divine Prayer boost. Now remember, this is what everything feeds into. So it's actually, you know, that's nice. It's focusing all the stuff on all the damage boosting. Then she gets a health item, which, yeah, as a tank you need. Then we get ultimate attack damage, ultimate attack cooldown. Feat-wise, she has a decent spread of feats. Look at all these. Damage all champions. Health. We get Divine Prayer. We get Overwhelm, right? These are all the things you would expect. She does have some, more expensive 50k feats. They're buffing the same stuff, though. Damage all champions, Divine Prayer. So you have a lot of options there. Skins. She's got multiple skins. I don't own any of Evelyn's skins. I am shocked. Construct Evelyn, folks, I want to point out, the price looks extremely high. It's because this is something that comes in one of the Champions of Renown packs, like the All-Star packs. So it's a whole pack and the skin comes with it. You're not just buying the skin for that much money. But this is the newest one, the Spelljammer Evelyn. Boom. It's pretty neat. Not gonna lie. I like this one a lot. And the neat thing is her Pegasus also has a different appearance. Very, very rainbowy as well. Is my understanding. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but in the poster, they do like a movie poster for these. Luke McKay does the art for them. In the poster that they showed, the mount had a different skin as well. This is how you actually get the Damage All Champions one, folks. Just so you know. All right. Moving on to Walnut. Gotta get that nut. So, Walnut. Wood Elf Druid. Lawful neutral. Tanking and support as well, but from the Akink C team. Base attack, Wicked Scimitar. Walnut savagely attacks the nearest enemy with her scimitar. Pretty straightforward. She gonna attack the thing. First ability, Documancer. Increases the damage of adjacent champions by 10% for each enemy killed in this area. Resets when changing areas. So she gets a ramping bonus based off your kills in your current area. Walnut's a little... Walnut could use a rework. Not gonna lie. You have to kill something to key off her core ability. This is her core ability. Now, here's the thing. What they kind of want you to do with this is they kind of want you to pair Walnut with Fire Breath potions, right? So you're moving along, you're killing things, you get the damage bonuses, your DPS is setting your bud, and then your Fire Breath, and when you switch areas and you lose this bonus from Walnut, Fire Breath can still get you some kills before it fades off, and you can queue up this bonus again. That's what they were kind of going for. How well that works for you? I've used Walnut to great effect before, but it is problematic with damage when you get to higher levels, like super high levels. Just so you know, job's done. Adds a bonus to Documancer for 30 seconds when completing a quest or entering a completed area. Killing enemies in completed area resets the duration to 30 seconds. So another bonus. Wolf Nut. This is the tanking form of Walnut, because when Walnut looks like this, Walnut is not a tank. Walnut is a support. Let's actually swap over so we can visually show Wolf Nut in a moment. Wolf Nut. Walnut uses Wild Shape to turn into a wolf whenever they are under attack, gaining temporary hit points for each enemy on screen at the time of the transformation. So let's move ahead to the boss so we can get a visual on Wolf Nut. Boom! There's Wolf Nut. Just a moment. There we go again. Now we're under attack. Now they're gone. Now we're under... Are we under attack again? Oh, there. Xanathar attacks randomly. There we go. As you can see, gonna do the thing in and out because this boss doesn't want to attack anyone specifically. That's the Wolf Nut. Contractual obligations increases the health of all champions by 12.5% of Walnut's maximum health. Normally it's 25%. But the effect is doubled when she's in wolf form. So when she goes to tank, she actually does the big health share, but the rest of the time, small health share. Pin Pause increases the effect of Documancer by 200% for every 2 seconds that Walnut is in wolf form. So it's a ramping bonus in damage, but only while she's tanking. Only while she's tanking. And then it decreases every 4 seconds while not in wolf form. So it hangs out for a little while. Hangs out for a little while. All right, let's hop back because Xanathar's annoying. Walnut has 2 different specialization choices, and they has to do with, of course, Documancer. Extended warranty, sign and date. Screw it is the first one, or this is the first set. So extended warranty Documancer now applies to all champions within 2 slots of Walnut and is buffed by 100%. So this lets it go further. Documancer can go further because Documancer is adjacent champions, right? So depending on how your formation is set up, if Walnut wants to be adjacent to your DPS, or you could take extended warranty, and then they just need to be within 2 slots. Not 2 slots ahead, just within 2 slots, anywhere within 2 slots. Sign and date Documancer now applies to all champions in the top or bottom slots of each column, and is buffed by 200%. So this is the bigger buff. And it just wants, then it reaches as far as it wants as long as your DPS is in either the top or bottom slot of each column. That means, like here, both of these spots count because this is the top, this is the bottom. Back here, top, bottom wouldn't buff this person here, right? That's how that works. Pretty straightforward. So there is some potential formation layout decisions that need to be made when using Walnut. As far as placing your DPS, right? Both placing Walnut or placing your DPS, depending on which specialization you're picking. Screw it, Documancer now applies to all champions, but is not buffed. So this goes to everywhere, but no bonus, right? So the ideal one you want is sign and date. But there are other options, depending on what you're given. We're going to choose sign and date, just for this example. This was a recent change to Walnut, so if you're like, that doesn't seem like what I remember from Walnut. Walnut did get a little bit of a rebalance pass. Just a little bit. A little tiny. Mainly looking at the ultimates, or specializations, to try to get more specialization choices made. This is the second specialization set, so this is Cosigners versus Temporary Alliance. For Cosigners, each target of Documancer is buffed 500%. For each of these buffs also affecting the target. Cathris's Unseen Encouragement, Dinar's Lead by Example, or Rosie's Deflect Missiles. So Cosigners is what you would choose if you're running a full C-team formation. C-team formation. That's going to give you the biggest bonuses. Temporary Alliance is basically everything else. Well, not necessarily even full C-team. Not even full C-team. If you're running some members of the C-team, this is going to be a solid buff. Let me put it that way. Temporary Alliance. The effect of Documancer is increased by 100% for each champion in the formation with an affiliation other than C-Team. Right now, there's 2 of those. Because there's 2 Waffle Crew members. So you'd get a 200% bonus, right? So you got to figure out you got to do a little of the math here. You got to figure out, are you getting affected by any of these? And how much is the bonus, right? This is 500% per. So you would need 5 of these if you could have 1 of these versus 5 of these. That's either or, right? So do a little bit of the quick maths and see what's going on for you. Now keep in mind, if someone says no affiliation, like Celeste, none, it doesn't count for any of it. Doesn't count for any of it. So it would not account for Temporary Alliance because there's nothing there. So this is counting only affiliation tags. Only affiliation tags. Here we go. Ramp that up. Throw a familiar. God dang it! All right. It's lore effective. Forest Friends is the ultimate. Oh boy. Oh boy. One of the more enjoyable ultimates in the game. It was broken when it first came out, and not so broken now. It's still fantastic. Walnut's ultimate is an ultimate that you don't just want to hit for damage. Walnut's ultimate has a survivability feature, so you want to time Walnut's ultimate appropriately. So remember that. Forest Friends. Walnut summons a swarm of lovable forest friends to attack all enemies. So this is screen-wide damage. Each enemy killed heals the party by 10% of their maximum health. Kill 10 enemies, your party's fully healed. If no enemies are killed, the formation gains a temporary hit point shield equal to 100% of their max health. So Walnut is a healing and or shielding champion, depending on what happens when she fires the ultimate. But that's the only time you're going to see a heal or a shield out of Walnut. So in this case, we're gonna hit the button and we're gonna, well, actually, let's do it against the Xanathar. We'll wait and we'll do the shield against Xanathar. We'll wait because we can kill all of these off. This is why you might want to wait. Here's what it looks like, though. Look at them all. Look at them all. They all do a little bit of damage. Now we've got these nice big shields. Everybody got, you know, their health and a shield. That could be great for getting you past problematic situations. You know, so timing it to wait so it doesn't just kill off all the trash mobs and then you get a heal that you didn't need because you weren't damaged yet. Wait until the boss is out. Fire it off. Get that nice big shield and maybe lay a little damage. Maybe lay a little damage down on the boss. All right. Let's also do that. No, I don't know. Well, we might make it through this time. We'll see. Item-wise, damage all champions. Documancer, so the main bonus. Job's done, which feeds into this, right? Wolf Nut. So this is the taking. This is the hit points that she gets when they convert. Ultimate attack damage, ultimate attack cooldown. Feat-wise, damage all champions. Health. That shouldn't be surprising. An overwhelm feat. Could use another one of these. A pair of Documancer ones. Another Documancer down here. Another Wolf Nut one, which is new. Yeah, so a variety of feats. Getting more of a variety. Multiple skins. Spelljammer Walnut is the new one. But lots of skins. Lots of skins for Walnut. Here's the new Spelljammer one for the Hunger of the Far Realm. I feel like somebody told her she was going to take a trip on a ship. And she misunderstood. She thought she was going to sea. I feel that's what happened. Because she's decking out and see stuff. It makes sense. It makes total sense. And this is where you get the Wolf Nut feat if you want to get it from a pack. That's the nut. Hey, we beat the Xanathar, folks. We beat the sea. Walnut Shield, helping me progress. All right, let's talk about Strix, baby. The Tiefling Sorcerer. Strix holds the title of first stream champion to join the game. Is my recollection? Yeah, because everything else before this was either was a C&E original or a lore champion. In terms of events, I want to be clear. In terms of event champions, because our first ever event champion, I'm just making sure I got this right. Yeah. Stokey. Then we got Krond, which is, these are C&E originals. Then Grama, another C&E original. Then Dadius, that came from a game, I remember. Barrowin. Regis was lore. Birdsong was from the campaign book. Zorbu was a C&E original. Then Strix arrived. So Strix, first like stream event champion. So Tiefling Sorcerer, DPS, support, Cat Good, member of the Waffle Crew. Strix throws fireballs. That's what Strix does. Throws a fireball at a random enemy, dealing a small amount of AoE damage. So it is a random attack, but it is also a small AoE as well. First ability, Poor Hygiene. So enemies approaching your formation take more damage due to Strix's unique odor. Now, I want to be clear. It says approaching your formation. There is a visual indicator for this. It is not just they're on the screen and they're walking towards you. They have to get past the guppy into this range. We'll see if some of these can potentially get there. We didn't pass this level a moment ago. Or did I not turn auto progress on? I didn't turn auto progress on. That's what happened. Alright, we will. Come Come on, get closer. No, they keep spawning right next to each other, which is problematic. Spawn further apart. All right, well, we'll keep going. We'll show it off in a bit. But when they get about to here, they're going to get this little icon over them that looks kind of like miasma is what I would call it. It looks like there's a smell around them. And that's the debuff. That's the debuff. Until that kicks in, this ability doesn't kick in, and that's her support ability. So if you're fighting enemies that aren't near the formation, she's not really giving you her major support ability. So this means that against like fixed bosses, stationary bosses that sit on the far right side of the screen, Strix can't help you against those. She loses a chunk of damage against those. She loses her debuff. So keep that in mind. So Strix is very situational. As both a DPS and a support, enemies have to get near you, or you have to be able to pull enemies close to you. Death Ward. If a champion within 2 slots of Strix is about to be killed, Strix revives them at 50% of their max health, and takes 50% of her max health and damage. If she can take that much damage without dying, doesn't fire off if she can't. Can only fire once every 30 seconds. So this is a bit of a survivability gotcha. If you're trying to keep people alive in situations, she can fire that off once every 30 seconds. That probably would have gotten us the squiggly lines. Oh, well, we'll come back to it still. Haunted. This is kind of her version of a ramping buff. It increases the damage of all champions by 100% for every champion death in the formation while Strix is in it, with stacks persisting until you reset. Strix, basically, to get... Oh, here's the lines. See, you can see it coming up off. See, it's like this wavy green line. It shows up about right here. Ding. Yep. When that shows on, that's the debuff. That's the debuff, folks. Okay, let's put some tanks back out so she doesn't feel like she's been abandoned. So, Haunted. Strix wants everyone to die over and over and over again. Actually die, not her death save thing. And not... Spurt does count. Spurt's ultimate will count as him dying. Every time you hit the ultimate, it's a new death for Strix. But otherwise, you need to actually farm her deaths. So if you want this bonus, you have to push, let everybody get wiped out, put her all the way in the back so she's the last one to die. Well, I don't think it really matters, but I do it just in case. And then let the formation, and then go move back forward, and then let it fall back, and then move back forward over and over again to get a bunch of haunted stacks. It's time consuming, but there's a bonus there, right? 100% every time it happens. If you're on the last level for a variant, it could potentially be worth it. It would then be worth it to farm haunted stacks. But if you need like 10 levels, haunted probably is not going to get you there. Haunted probably not going to get you there. All right, specializations. Anxious Fireballs, Echoes of the Past, or Smelly Lunch. Anxious Fireballs, this increases Strix's base attack cooldown by 2 seconds, so she attacks slower. It increases her damage by 300%. So this is what people usually use for DPS, because they want that 300% more damage. And yeah, she's going to hit things harder. Just know that it's going to mess with your bud because of the extra 2 seconds of the cooldown. But you are hitting things harder. You are. It's just your damage per second goes down because she's attacking slower. It's a weird interaction. But she does hit things harder. But if you were trying to rely on Bud to push with, it's not great. Echoes of the Past, 200% to the Haunted. So if you are going to spend some time stacking that, this may be the way to go. Smelly Lunch increases the effect of Strix's Poor Hygiene ability by 100%. So if you're just going for the debuff, that would work. That would work. Let's do it. Oh, hey. Armored Juniper, you're supposed to be over here. Strix actually... the Waffle Crew have their own familiars. Hold on. Where's Strix's? There we go. Stinky. Armored Juniper. And this is Vizier, right? This is... yeah. The Stellar J haunts walnut streams. Yeah, that just randomly came out in the right spot. That was hilarious. All right. Vizier. I can't do it. Cherry does it so well. That's it. Strix is pretty straightforward. She throws fireballs. Her ultimate actually changes what she does. Strix's staff polymorphs either into a pie plate, an owlbear plushie, or a flying broom. And this changes her base attack. Each of these effects not only changes her base attack, but changes how much damage she does. And it doesn't list that off anywhere in the game until you hit it and it shows up. Well, which is, one of those, of course. Of course, they don't just tell you. I do, however, have all the effects in my guide, because of course I do. So the pie plate is a melee attack. So she attacks with her flame blade pie plate, like it is on fire with flame blade. And it's a bit of an AoE, so it hits nearby enemies. It does increase the damage on her basic attack a bit. When it turns into the owlbear plushie, this is the Waffles Whack. The first one's the pie plate punch. This is the Waffles Whack. It's a melee attack as well. When she pulls out the plushie, Waffles the owlbear comes out. It's like summoning Waffles. This is a melee attack as well, and Waffles the owlbear is actually what attacks. And every time Waffles attacks, the damage goes up. So you get more attack speed with this, and the damage starts ramping with every attack. So if you can get Strix a lot of attack speed, Waffles' damage ramps up with every attack. So getting Waffles more attacks means you end up with the most damage, like tons of damage at the end, but only for like one hit, right? And then Waffles ends, it goes away, and her damage goes back. But that is the highest. That's the one you really want. That's the highest damage version of her ultimate. So it just affects her base attacks, though. When she pulls out the broom, she hops on the broom and starts throwing fireballs again. It doubles her attack speed and increases her damage a bit, is my understanding. So again, you get some more attack speed, or you get more damage, or you get both. But having Waffles show up is kind of what you want. You want the owlbear. So let's see what we get. Yep, there we go. There's Waffles. So we got the owlbear one. So Waffles will jump out and attack until Waffles goes away. The more attacks Waffles gets, the more damage that ramps up. And then Waffles will disappear after it's done. Is that right? Yeah. There they go. And then she goes back to normal. So that's Strix's ultimate. Did we cover? Oh, items. She gets a double damage straight to her, and then she gets a damage all champions. This is rare to see this. She gets poor hygiene, and then the damage while her ultimate is active, which is nice. So this basically you push with Strix using her ultimate. You would want a familiar on her ultimate so that you're queuing up the ultimate all the time, because she's getting a lot of damage out of that. That's her most damaging form. And then ultimate cooldown reduction, feat-wise, damage all champions, self-damage, poor hygiene, so you hit the major things, and there's even some larger ones. These obviously would be the ideal too. There you go. That's all the champions that are currently in the game. We do, however, on the horizon, have Kent arriving. Kent is joining us Wednesday the 19th. Wednesday the 19th. Kent is going to... Oh, no. Is it Bright Swords? I think Bright Swords is... No, Liar's Night. Why is that all confused? Is it Liar's Night? Man, why is the in-game list... Yeah, Liar's Night. I was like, that's not right at all. The in-game event achievements tab is usually where you go, and boy, is it messed up. Liar's Night's what's coming next, folks, on the 19th. So Kent is going to arrive. Let's take a look at... Oh, no. Did I do this right? Nope, that's not it. Boy. I should have prepped this better. That's not what I want. On my other on GG2E, I have this built in, but we don't ever do this here, folks. We don't ever show off a champion that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist yet. So give me one moment. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. There we go. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Well, alright. I'm going to shrink. We're going to shrink. And then we're going to stretch. Nope. And then we're going to shrink. And then we're going to stretch. This is what happens when they're like, hey, Gaarawarr, talk about a champion that's not in the game yet. Sure, guys. I can do that. Yeah. Sure. There we go. Something like that. Boom. This is Kent, folks. Say hello to Kent. Say hello to Kent. This is Eugenio Vargas' character. Kent's going to be a tiefling male rogue from the Rivals of Waterdeep. Neutral good. Their support DPS. They're going to be in slot 4 where Jarlaxle is. And now we can't see the game anymore. Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be a swap, a slot swap with Jarlaxle and company from slot 4. Base attack Rapier. Kent strikes the closest enemy with his Rapier. Pretty straightforward. The abilities are where things get a little wild. Kent's going to need you to actually go out and put some work in. Kent is not... Well, Kent is going... let me put it this way. Kent is going to be better for established players and not quite as great for newer players. But as you progress, Kent gets better with you. So, Tokens of the Departed. Kent keeps a soul trinket of the highest level boss defeated in each campaign, and the best event where he was present at the boss's defeat. So this means you want Kent in a formation that you've pushed as deep as possible with in campaigns and events, because he's going to gain this trinket for each campaign and one for the best event. And then Kent increases the damage of all champions in his column, including himself, by 10% times the sum of all levels from the soul trinkets. So if the furthest you've ever gone is 250 anywhere, it's every campaign, 250 times every campaign plus the boss, and that's your total. I think we were coming out like there's 7 campaigns, and then the one boss one would be 8, so that would be 2,000 levels. So you would get 20,000% damage bonus, right? If you could get to 8,000, that's 8,000. Or if you could get to 1,000, level 1,000, that's 8,000 points across all of them. Obviously, it's not going to be this straightforward. It'll vary campaign to campaign. And you would get 80,000% bonus. So that's going to be how that works. Now, because it's an additive bonus, while you do get more for having gone further, you're still getting a solid buff just for having some kind of, just making sure that you grab a token out of each campaign and off deep boss pushes. So whenever you reach new accomplishments in campaigns or events, bring Kent along. Grab Kent a token. Remembering the old days, each time Kent or the ghostly spirit from his ultimate attacks, we'll get to that, he gains a nostalgia stack that lasts until entering a new area. So this is a ramping bonus, but that sits on an area. Kind of like Walnut. Walnut ramps up her damage on one area, then resets on the next one. Kent kind of does the same thing here. So Kent increases his damage by 50% for each nostalgia stack, stacking multiplicatively. That's the good way. And then applied multiplicatively. Buffs are applied to the post-stack value, and nostalgia stacks are capped at 25. So this is 50% to the 25th power is what you would get. So killing up to 25 enemies, nice big multiplier on the bonuses. So again, like Walnut, the more things you're killing, he caps a bit, but he also does it multiplicatively. You get a bonus. So the longer you're on a stage killing things, the more bonus or attacking things. Excuse me. For Kent, it's attacking, not killing. For Walnut, it's killing. The attacking's better. It ramps up. So you're after 25 stacks, you're gonna hit the max. At that point, if you can't kill anything on the stage, well, oops. But do what you can. Do what you can. So staying alive through 25 stacks on Kent, good idea. That's a good goal. Extra. Kent's force of personality emboldens his companions. Kent increases the damage of all champions by your current achievement bonus. Folks, let's hop back in the game. That's right down here on the bottom right. Bonus. Increase to all champion damage. I mean, you're already getting this, but Kent gives it to you again. So whatever this number is, you're going to get again from Kent's extra bonus. Kind of encouraging people to go out and achieve things. So it's going to be in the EO5 range if you have all of them. Or close to all of them. I don't have all of them, so I can't say if I would get to EO6 or not. But yeah. So whatever this bonus is, that's what your bonus is going to be. If you want to put in some work and grab some achievements, yay. That's going to help you out with Kent, right? But small amounts, because they're 1% here, 5% there. So keep that in mind. Inseparable. If Virgil qualifies, well, Virgil isn't in the game yet, so this ability won't do anything until Virgil arrives. Virgil, the other champion that's going to be in Hunger of the Far Realm. If Virgil qualifies for an adventure restriction based on his tags, age, ability scores, etc., Kent may be used as well. Obviously, this isn't enabled until Virgil's release. Specializations at Ultimate. So, Robust Rivals versus Potent Poison. Robust Rivals is basically if you have other rivals of Waterdeep. Might be a good idea. Might be. It depends on how many. Kent increases the attack bonus of Tokens of the Departed by 100% for each Rivals of Waterdeep champion, stacking multiplicatively. So, if you have at least 2 other rivals, or maybe does he include him? We don't know. He might include himself. So as long as there are potentially 2 rivals in the formation, because this is multiplicative, that would give you a 10,000% bonus with 2. That's going to be the choice you'd make, potentially. Because Potent Poison is going to be a 400% of your bud to the enemy each second for 4 seconds when Kent attacks an enemy and doesn't kill it. It's real nice. This is real nice, folks. I'm not going to lie. This is basically 5 times whatever your bud is. As a dot to an enemy, which means even if Kent is supporting at the time, if you are attacking an armored enemy and your bud is high enough to take off chunks, Kent is taking off chunks with this dot. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. We've seen this recently with a number of champions. I like this direction they're going. So yeah, hopefully they keep that up. Maybe even change a couple other dot champions over to this bud-based dot as well, Delena. Ultimate ability, Wails from the Grave. Wails from the Grave. For 30 seconds, when Kent makes a normal attack, a ghostly spirit briefly appears and makes an attack, dealing ultimate damage on another random enemy if possible. Additionally, the weather changes to fog. So it's going to get foggy. And you're basically going to get double attacks. Again, great against hit-based and armored enemies. Otherwise, good wave clear, right? Item-wise, you can't see them all here, but we get a pair of Damage All Champions. We get a Tokens of the Departed. So again, that's going to be a multiplier on those total levels from your campaigns. And the one event, right? Those tokens. This is a good multiplier for that, potentially. So he's probably going to potentially might scale well with his items. Remembering the old days. No, it's nostalgia. They need to change that. They changed that. They must have called nostalgia remembering the old days. Oh, no, it is. But that's the nostalgia stack. Okay. Boy, new champions, folks. I still haven't got it. So, the nostalgia bonus. This is for the attacks. There's a multiplier on this, but again, it's post stacking. So that's here we go. Post stacking. I could see it on my screen, but I realized you can't see it on yours. This is what the item would. So we get an item that buffs this. We get an item that buffs this. And then we get an item that buffs this. So items that buff all of these. Super nice. Plus 2 damage all champions items. So good itemization on Kent. And then there's a cooldown reduction item. And then there's a cooldown reduction item. We don't know what kind of feats we're going to get, but because they are DPS support, let's go back up to the picture of Kent. Because they are DPS and support, you're going to get self-damage feats. You're going to get damage all champions feats. Guaranteed. We just don't know yet what ability feats we're going to get. Potentially could be, I mean, this is the type of, they have the type of kit where it would be good to have one for each of those, so you could focus on what you wanted to, at least for the tokens of the departed or remembering the old days is what I would hope for. I don't know that this would be feat worthy, but who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. We'll find out Wednesday. Let's throw that back. So those are all the champions we can cover, folks, because again, remember, Virgil will be arriving in Hunger of the Far Realm. But Virgil isn't it. I mean, Virgil and Kent aren't even in the game yet. At least we have a blog for Kent, right? Okay. We're going to take a short break, folks. We'll come back after the break. We'll answer your questions. We've got about a dozen stocked up for Martin. If you have questions that you've thought of, but you didn't type them into chat yet, now's a good time. Just put question and colon in front. The song we're going to listen to on this break is Spelljammin'. Of course it is. Come on.
My naughty lord's taking flight. Them pirates got me in their sight. Oh no. All aboard for a trip to the stars. Sailing planner winds on a space card. Space Dragon's treasure's gonna be ours. Let's go. Your gift, merchant or gift, everyone is welcome on the skiff. Spelljammin', no planning. Spelljammin', on the ship we're hanging. So much bigger than your hometown. Don't look back as we look to ground. Keep an eye out for these space clowns, oh no. Watch out for hamsters, both giant and small. Gonna claim your ship as their own space ball. Better run before we get mauled, gotta go. Viking has a or even space gold. Everyone is welcome on this boat. Spelljammin', no planning. Spelljammin', on
Yeah. We're spell jamming, folks. All right, we're going to dive into the Q&A portion. Captions, what are you doing to me today? I mean, sure. I'm Jamie Foxx now. We all are. I'm going to dive into the Q&A portion. I'm going to hit this one up from chat real quick, though. It wasn't put in my document because there was no question colon in front of it. Folks, if you want your question actually answered, put question colon, because it actually highlights in the chat application that Martin uses, so he can see it and copy it. They can see it, excuse me, and copy it and put it in the chat document for me. Get it off now. Have you guys ever thought about giving out a new player? I'm going to stop. As someone said in chat, I am not an employee. Disclaimer, I am not a full-time employee of Codename Entertainment. I'm not even a part-time employee. I am a contracted individual. I am contracted to do streams like this for you and answer questions based off my knowledge of the game, because I have been playing this game since it came out. I've also been writing guides for the game almost as long. Liar's Night was the first event I ever wrote a guide for, so it'll be my 5-year anniversary of making guides for this game when Liar's Night comes out on Wednesday. Yay! 5-year guide anniversary. But I can tell you, though, the answer to your question is yes, they have thought about things. Now, obviously, nothing's happened yet, but trust me, they are constant. I can tell you, they are constantly thinking, somewhere in the back of their minds, they're trying to work on things that that make the new game experience better. I can tell you, as someone who's played multiple new game accounts over time, the game is in a much better place than it ever was, especially for new players. New players can catch up faster than anyone. There are lots of things going on in the game. There's a lot of information to know. And yeah, it's very difficult to put all that information in the game in some kind of a tutorial, which is why I make guides for it. So hit up my new player guides. I even have a walkthrough called a guided tour, which will help you quickly and easily get through the kind of what I consider the early game into the mid, and let you transition to the mid game while introducing systems and concepts to you in a good order. I don't know if it's the best. It's gotten a lot of good feedback though, so check that out. It was just linked in chat. Gonna hit the questions up. I'm gonna hit the ones that are in reference to Idle Champions Presents Hunger the Far Realm, and then I will do general questionage. This one's somewhat related. Gauntlet Blade, when are we getting a GIF hero? I don't know. That'd be cool. To my knowledge, no one's played a GIF on a big stream that I've heard about. Twitch, T5 Cats. I get that. I get that song reference. Yeah. Evil and Preserve. Yep. Everybody's got the good song references with the ship as big as a whale. GIF would be neat. A GIF would not show up in the formation as big as a GIF should show up in the formation, because space reasons. Not space like space, but like space as in how much space it takes up. Like Toragar is a very big minotaur, but looks about the same size. It doesn't clock in as too much bigger than Strix, but would be way bigger than Strix, right? So just know that if a GIF shows up, they're not going to be huge, even though they're very big. A GIF are the hippo people, folks. I hope we get a GIF here at Champion at some point. But yeah, they haven't made any announcements about any of that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff doesn't get announced in advance. I'll be honest. When we get a new Evergreen, which is probably what it would be, because again, I haven't seen one on a. Well, it could be an Evergreen or an event, but I haven't seen one on a stream. We wouldn't find out until right before it gets added to the game, anyway. What do we got? Anything about this? Anything? Sailor Suzaku, does Belushi's deaths count towards Strix as well? Hers should, yeah. Hers should. I'll be honest, I haven't tested that interaction out. but we can real quick. Belushi, Evergreen Champion. Where are you, Belushi? Evergreen Champion. Let me throw Belushi up into the front. And let's get to... How far do we have to go to get her to die? There we go. Should be there. I don't want to level her up too much. When she's died, she's replacing the formation with her spirit. Yeah, this should do it. So Strix... Oh, hold on. We need to see how many stacks of Haunted Strix has already. 5. Okay, so if this goes up to 6, then yes, it does. Let's find out together. Oh, it's the Xanathar. This is such a weird fight. All right. May take a while. You know what? Let's get rid of some targeting options to make this go quicker. Okay, that was a good hit. Xanathar, do it again. Stop with the raise. Just do the bites. Just do the bite attacks. Come on. Any day now. Any day, Xanathar. Any time. There we go. Yep. We got credit. So, when she goes from regular form into spirit form, yeah, Belushi does work. So Belushi and Spurt both function with Strix's Haunted. The thing is like Veronica and others that count as dead are already dead. There's no transformation. They're not going to help. They work with Desmond though. I guess we covered everything really well because nobody else had any other questions about Hunger of the Far Realm or the champions that are in Hunger of the Far Realm. So we'll go into the regular Q&A once I kill these 2 fighters. Any day now. There we go. Let's get that shield out again. Did that really not? There it triggered. Okay. Here's the Broom version of Strix's ultimate. And if she wasn't suspended like that, she would have been firing off fireballs real fast. Well, comparatively speaking. Death Scythe. Should I unlock patrons as soon as I can? Yeah, once you qualify, once you have the stuff to unlock Mert or Vajra. Usually Mert's your first, but yeah, absolutely. Even though it costs 3 time gate pieces, throw down quickly. Because the thing about patrons is... Every patron in their shop will sell a time gate piece. So if you pick up Mert, you may cost you 3, but you get 1 back the moment you have the 2,500. And then every Monday, the patron shop resets, and you can buy a new one again. So it speeds up your time gate piece collection. Each patron will have one available. They're also going to be where you can get Modron component chests. So once you have your Modron core unlocked, you want to buy this every week. The rest of the stuff I tend to recommend early on out of the shop just to not worry about yet. Focus on those time gate pieces and those Modron chests when you first unlock your patrons. Sergio Morozov. So if I have a new champion and silver and gold chests for them, which should I open first? I mean, technically silvers before golds. Depending on what kind of champion, like if it's an evergreen champion and you're talking about regular silver and gold chests, the generic ones that just say silver and gold, yeah, silver then gold. That's fine. If we're talking about an event champion, so say it says like gold Evelyn chest, like I have a gold Evelyn chest in here. And you have, say you have silver Evelyn chests and gold Evelyn chests. What you actually want to open first are these, the Electrum chests. I've currently got a very nice number of them. These are what you get on streams like this one. You could find, I think they give like 30 or 40 out a week. So collecting these, I tend to not open them now until a new event happens, because what happens is these drop gear for every champion you own, but they will prioritize, kind of funnel into champions that don't have any gear at all first, or have low-level gear compared to everybody else having higher stuff, like low-rarity gear. So opening these first gives you the biggest chance to get to... the idea here is opening Electrums first and then silvers, named silvers. Hopefully will get you to all green or better. And that makes opening your golds more efficient for you, because the idea here is to get to all blue as quickly as possible. And golds will guarantee an upgrade, but golds can drop greens. So as long as if you can get your electrums and your silvers on that champion to get you up to green, every gold you're open will get you a new blue, and you'll be full blue real quick. Full blue is kind of your goal when getting a new champion, like your short-term goal. Long-term, obviously, full purple, but the order of opening doesn't affect full purple. Just getting to full blue, it'll get you to full blue a little quicker. CS Dyer, does the early unlock in the season tab better to save to the last level or just use whenever? Does it give additional currency if you save it for the last level? So it's not. So first of all, it's not a required thing. I gotta scroll down. Here, like if I want to unlock 10 early, it costs. It's going to give you the XP. It's going to give you favor. It's going to give you some currency. When you do it, it costs money. It's kind of up to you. So it is going to give you a bit of currency. And that's extra. If you pay, $5 a pop, US, to unlock each tier early, you get a lot of extra favor and currency. You just get up to the higher tiers faster. But yeah, if you click on it, it tells you what you get. Whether you want to do that or not is going to be dependent on what your progress is like getting through the quests. I've been obviously progressing very well, so I'm not super worried. It should be there. It should be there in a fine amount of time. There's still 40 days left, and I'm at what? I'm at 26, and I need 28 for here and 31 for here. So, yeah. The Lurking Rider, what monster from the Farm Realm would you least like to face in either Idle Champions or as a player in D&D? I have no idea, because I don't know what all the monsters are. I don't know what all the monsters are. There's probably a lot of them. Probably most of them. Yeah. I don't know. Mr. Flag Carrier, hey Gar, have you watched any of Brennan Lee Mulligan's campaigns? The only thing of Brennan's that I have seen was the Critical Role kind of mini campaign they did, and it was fantastic. I liked it a lot. There are just so many. There are so many TTRPG shows. I have all but given up on trying to keep up with all of them. I used to be able to. I used to watch a lot of TTRPGs every week, and now I'm fortunate if I keep up with one campaign, and that's Critical Role. When I have free time, I will try to catch up on I try to catch up on others, and it just feels like a never-ending struggle. So, Carfall, I've got Sentry, Lucius, and now Ayla. Thanks to the last time gate. Cool. Well, my only option to get all season pass rewards to buy Keelik for money. If you don't have 6 time gate pieces, well, you still Sentry, Lucius, and Ayla. You have Nova. I guess I should go look at what we're referring to. I mean, Nova has a reward too. I don't think you can get this unless you have Nova. But yeah, you would. If you want to collect those, then I'm guessing you would That's weird. I'm guessing you would. Yeah. If you don't have a time gate to run, you just need 3 time gate pieces to pick them up out of a time gate. You still got 40 days left to collect stuff. So if you run out of time, then yeah. It would have to be a cash purchase. And then if you want to do that, then that's I would try to look under. Is there a pack with either Nova or Keelik in it right now? I guess I could have used the search feature in the new shop, but I didn't. Do, 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 do. That's no. Nope, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it currently. I think Nova's in the year 3 pack. But that's a lot. So yeah, probably straight up just buying one. Unfortunately. Talzalbane, is there a reason to hold on to Scales of Tiamat? Sort of, yeah. Oh no. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, hey, good. I didn't miss it. So what you want to do currently, in the current version of the Legendary Forge, you get your scales, you come over here, you forge an item, when it costs, like when your first one costs 1,000, then the price jumps up super high for the second one, and then you don't make another one. You wait until the cost drops down to 1111 or lower, so 1,111 or lower. The math people in the Discord did the math. Multiple of them came up with this same number, so that's the one we throw out and say that it's your goal. So you want to hold on to 1111 or lower or more scales, because it's going to take about, I want to say, 6 days to drop to that value. Obviously, you won't have finished a new trial run by then, so you won't have a fresh influx of scales. But to get legendaries as quickly as possible, you'll want to be buying them as the cost drops below that target number, again, in the current system. So keeping that amount on hand just to set up, just to pop a new legendary is a good idea. When you go to upgrade stuff, like you obviously upgrading things, you just make sure that you're not upgrading so much that you end up with fewer than 1111 scales, so that you can get your next one without having to wait until you finish another trial run. They did tell us that there should be, I think I'm doing this for should now, I think we were talking about this yesterday. This is air quotes. This is air asterisks. They should be pushing changes to trials this coming week. But it's not going to be for the Forge. It's just going to be for the way trials work. So everything could start changing soon. So just keep that in mind. Niskus, any ETA on Gaarawarr's Guide to Jeremy Clawford? I haven't done guides to familiars. And I think everybody wants Jeremy to become a familiar. So even if Jeremy was in the game as a familiar, unless there's some kind of unlock mechanism, there wouldn't be a Gaarawarr's Guide to it. But hashtag Jeremy Clawford. I'm pulling for Jeremy as a familiar. Bloody Meadow, if I deactivate Modron automation in background parties without ending the adventure and use some of those champions from the background parties in, let's say, a Tiamat trial, when I'm done with the trials and reactivate Modron for the background parties, will the champions automatically be placed in their original formations in the background? Not unless the run reaches a reset point. It is my understanding, no. You would need to go into each of those parties and load the party to pull them back in, because you pulled them out. So something would have to trigger putting that back in. So, yeah, probably not. Probably not, is my understanding. Because I don't think it's trying to... Otherwise, if it was constantly trying to pull, it would pull them out of your trials run, potentially. So, yeah, probably not. Now, keep in mind, that is my... Of the current background party, that is the current functionality. But even then, I don't think you'd want that to happen. I think you'd need to go back in and manually pull them back in. Desai, should I unlock patrons soon? Oh, yeah, we already answered that one. You only have to ask questions once, folks. I will get to them, I promise. In fact, we're almost done with questions. We still have another half an hour to go, so... if you have questions, get them in. Question : in chat so Martin can see them. Quack's name, will we have any way to get Walnut in the event or only through time gates? I have no idea. Again, and even if I did know, I probably couldn't tell you. We'll find out when the Hunger of the Farm Realm arrives. I don't know if they're going to do giveaways or stuff. I have no idea. So for now, assume time gate only. Now, if you were to pop for like again, there's these Far Realm packs that just came out. If you were to pop for this pack, it does come with Walnut. It does come with Walnut, but that's, yeah, it doesn't. Oh god, this is scary. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with, folks. That's a lot to deal with. But yeah, I don't know anything about about giving away free champions. Garbled for life. Do the points for voting get carried over week to week? Yes. Yes, they do. So you can hold on to them if you want. Like right now, I'm holding on to. I'm going to hold on to the rest of mine for the rest of this week, and I'm going to spend them right away on day one of the next week to try to get the reward right away. Britillicus, what's the correct guide to consult for gear item levels? I don't know. I've been stockpiling blacksmithing contracts. I'm now gaining scales as well. Just looking to get started boosting power via gear. I don't know if there's a, like, first off, I don't really know what you're looking for. You said to gear item levels, but that's a broad concept. I mean, I do have a guide to items that explains the basic concept of how they work. But I'm not sure what you're trying to target. You would need to be more specific. I could give you some general information. There are some champions who like item levels more than others. And by like, I mean they use them better than others. So some people like to invest in those, especially certain speed champions like Briv and Human. There are certain like DPS champions that want thousands, and by thousands I mean like 10,000 plus item levels to really take off and become amazing, and that's like Krond and Artemis. And then you also have to build entire formations and level them up too. There are some that use them more efficiently, like Avrin, whose mirror image item gets used multiple times in a single formation, so is more mathematically efficient. That's why those other DPS like them too. I mean, so there's a lot of things going on there. I personally, I have sunk lots of item levels into speed champions to get their speed item to their cap, or if it's not a cap, to get it to a certain point. Like Human and Sentries both have a cap, and I've capped them. And then Brivs, I've gotten to the point where he is a 4-skip, a guaranteed 4-skip. That was like 3,600 item levels. And to get to 9-skip, which would be the next goal, to jump smoothly, would take like 124,000 more on top of that. I'm not up for that. That's a lot. So I spread mine equally roughly amongst all of the champions. Basically, I try to create an item level floor, so a power floor for each champion. So if we come over here, you can see you won't find a champion that's under 140 average item levels. That's my current floor. I need to go through and boost this up to 150. After that, I'll probably start collecting for a while, like really building up item levels, maybe to get Briv to that 9 jump. But every time a new champion comes out, like where's Mr. Egbert in this list? There he is. I mean, he jumped straight to 150. This is why I think my floor needs to go up to 150 now. So, yeah. So I try to keep a minimum. Now, you will see some are much higher. Obviously, Xeraphon and Hitch and Dellen are all way high, but that's because they're core champions. They get item levels just off opening silver and gold chests. So they're always going to be super high. But for the most part, others, might be a little bit, but it's maybe because I bought packs for them or something, and they'll have some extra chests. The Erois team is going to be a little higher because they're getting chests from this event. But for the most part, I try to put my item level floor again at a certain number. I started out at like 70, and then once everybody was 70, I made my next goal 80, and then I made my next goal 9. Right? I raise power on everyone, so that when I go to do variants, whoever I end up with in my formation is bringing a minimum level of power. That is an acceptable minimum level of power, right? Now, if you want to go all in on just your pushing group, that's your choice. Just know that doesn't then help you in other places. And if you're trying to boost it for trials, which I think I saw one of your comment was for, just remember restrictions are you can't even just do your 10 for trials because restrictions are you have to have swaps. So at that point, it's really up to you and what type of pushing formation you're trying to create, and who your alternates are if people get lost. And it's the same with legendaries. Once you start collecting, once you've done your first trial run, your normal run, you get a bunch of scales, you should forge a legendary right away. Again, it's because of the time restriction currently on the price coming back down. You want to forge every 6 days. Right? So try to do it right away. And the way I personally did it is I put legendaries. I put a legendary on each of my main supports, and then my main DPS, and then I started fleshing out alternate DPS and alternate supports. So now I have legendaries across a wide array of champions. But I don't have like 6 legendaries on any single champion. The most legendaries I have on anyone right now is 2. So yeah. Because I want power available in all situations, personally. But you do you. Death Scythe, what is a Modron Core? These are Modron Cores. These little round, fun guys over here. Not fun guys like Myconids, but fun guys like they're fun to hang out with. And when you get one, you slot it into a party, and it can enable automation if you've set it up. If you've activated automation, it can enable certain forms of automation. So loading a formation layout, it doesn't level up the champions. Your familiars do that. Loading a formation layout, auto resetting on a certain area, loading in potions, and it also functions as a buff. You can create buffs by playing the pipe game. Each core has a different layout, and you have to level it up. All of my cores are level 15. That's the max. But as you lay out pipes and buff flow, you get bonuses. Here's a list of the bonuses from this pipe. So yeah, there are another ways to get more power for more of what I call account power, because it's independent to a certain degree from your champions. Yeah. So Modron Cores do a lot. You get your first Modron Core, your Modest Core, by completing Split the Party. Split the Party requires you will be able to do that when you have 1 extra champion in every slot. So 2 champions total per slot. So you got one of these swippy swappy buttons for every slot. Then you click on Adventuring Parties, and it says Unlock a New Party, and it will say Unlock. You can't do it from inside an adventure like this. You would do it from the map screen. Fortunately, this button is out here on the map screen as well, right here. You would do it from here. You would say Unlock a New Party, Unlock, and you would do that adventure. I got a guide for that. T5 Cats. Hey, 49,000 coins from Dark Magic, I presume. No. All of my coins are from doing this. I am testing. I decided I'm going to test the free-to-play path. What's it like for a free-to-play player for season 1? So I can only purchase the free-to-play side. So if you are free-to-play only, you end up with a lot of extra coins, which means at the end, you could buy a lot of these things over and over and over again, because as long as it has these arrows, this means it's repurchasable. So these 3 free-to-play path ones, the red locks, are all repurchasable. You could then spend all your extra currency here. Now, if you have the season pass, I will get the season pass once I'm done. Then I will be spending a lot of this currency on all these other things. But there's a lot of things here that's way better than buying those other things in tier 11 over and over again on the free-to-play side, like 50 item levels for every item. This is 300 item levels. This is 300 item levels. This is 300 item levels. This is 600 item levels. 300 item levels. 600 item levels. This is way better than you would get by rebuying this pack over and over again, right? Plus all the cool skins. There's a feat involved here, right? There's feats. So yeah, I mean, you're going to end up with different amounts of currency left over based off whether you're free to play or a season pass holder. But the season pass definitely has. I'm gonna get it. There's no way I wouldn't spend $10 to get all of that progress plus all the cool skins. But yeah, and then I will buy with whatever tokens I have left over. I will rebuy Modron component chests because those are the most valuable chests next to Bahamut. Maciel, can Evelyn work as a support, not in the front column like Nova does? Yes, because Evelyn's effects, most of Evelyn's effects don't require her to be attacked. There is only the one trigger for her divine prayer bonus that's based off her being attacked. She can trigger most of the rest from other places, including her. You would put her in the mom arm spec because that would trigger as well. So yeah. She is a good, support tank, not in the front column. Lurking Rider, could you pass on this request for the characters from Lauren's Radiant Stories stream to be potential champion? That's not a thing I can. That's not a thing I can do, but I mean, you guys can just let them know that in the Discord or post on the subreddit that you like those champions. They're always looking for new champions to add to the game. I have no influence over that, though. Otherwise, everyone from Storyteller Mars Presents would be in the game by now. Yeah. I don't get to do that. I mean, I can. I don't have any more weight in that regard than the rest of you. All of you together have more weight than I do in that regard. Britillicus, to follow up best champs items to boost for wall pushing trials. But yeah, I mean, that's just, it depends on who you're using. Or who you decide to go all in on. I mean, if you decide to go all in on Krond, there's a whole set of champions that support Krond you would need to boost with him, but Krond would be the first, and Krond would want like thousands of item levels on his hammer. If you decide to go with an Artemis formation, you would need to not only boost Artemis to like Artemis's flute would need to be like 10,000 plus item level, and then everyone that's supporting Artemis would need lots of item levels. But yeah, like any kind of DPS you choose, some DPS are more free with who can support them, so you can choose just the kind of the meta best supports. So you really have to figure out who, like, is there a target that you're looking for? I don't like to go all in on Krond or Artemis personally. I would rather boost my supports, and then I can use those supports for any DPS, which is why my top tier DPS list has like 6 different champions in it that can all get roughly the same distance, which gives me a much better ability to push. And I didn't boost any of those champions super high. I just made sure that all of my champions are good, and that way I can get super far with a variety of champions, regardless of restrictions. Randus, what's the fastest way to build favor for blessings? Somehow don't have all of Oral's blessings unlocked. Azaka farming. You would push in, usually it's the first adventure of an area is the easiest of a campaign. Push as deep as you can, and then when you get there, Azaka farm. That's it. That's how you do it. If just by normally deep pushing in a campaign you can't buy all the blessings, I mean, that's the first thing to try. But from Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus on, that's more difficult to do. Although we don't have a lot in Oral yet, do we? Oh no, we do have 5 now. Okay, So yeah, to get like the tier 5, you're gonna need to Zaka farm most likely. Definitely for Baldur, for Tiamat and for Oral, you're gonna need to do that. Right now, while beyond the Witchlight, you should just be able to get from deep pushes. Should be able to get from deep pushes. Hey, smack him in the face. DiMargero, how do you show all 4 parties? Mine only shows 3, and I'll have to use the arrows to show the 4th. It's probably just my my settings for the interface or display. So I have it just at 100% for 16 by 9, and I have it at 1600 by 900. If I force the usually actually I have. I'm not sure why. Usually I have the UI scale a little bit bigger because it makes it easier to see things. But then that might affect. I guess that doesn't affect this. So yeah, it's most likely just the fact that I've got 16 by 9 going on. That's all I can think of. I don't know why it would be different any other way. Natiri, is there a way to see the patrons quest section when you are not in a run? No. There isn't a way to see just about anything when you're not in a run. They did add, I mean, there is this button now, so you can see your multi-party stuff going on, and you can change it. There's now the seasons button out here, but there is, as you'll note, there's no buttons to see anything else. They did add the quest tracker, so if you load things into your quest tracker, you can see what you have to go on, but that's, you have to prep that before you get there. The reason is they've said this before, they don't have any of that even loaded into the game memory when you're on that screen. So they would have to change a lot. And they just haven't done it. I think I've said before, I think it would be neat if you're not in an adventure screen, wasn't the map, but was instead like the tavern. And then you click on a map on the wall, and then you can choose what campaign you want to run on, or you could click on the patron thing, and it would open up a patron. Like, I think if they had a different, not in-game screen that was your home screen that had these options, it would function better. But the game has always been like this. The game has always been when you're not an adventure on a map. Yeah. What is the space screen? This is the Light of Xerxes campaign. So it starts here on the Sword Coast, but then you take off in a ship, and then you're in space, because the Light of Xerxes is the Spelljammer campaign. Molotov Slacker, which Modron core is the most advantageous to level up to 15 first? In my opinion, the fast core. In my opinion, it's the fast core. Here's my reasoning. I feel like when you're just trying to level it up to 15, your goal isn't to supercharge things. Your goal is just to get the level up there and get everything to epic, like Purple Flow, which is going to get you all the maximum normal bonuses for things. And the fast core actually at that point, when compared to the other cores, isn't far behind in terms of the damage bonuses it provides. So actually is helpful for pushing, generally speaking, but also speeds up your progress when you're in a run. So it's going to give you more overall, it gives you good pushing power and faster progress through adventures and variants, so you progress overall faster. For me, the second priority is really going to depend on who your big pushing formation is, like who it's keyed around, what DPS. I made it my modest core. Hold on. I made my next biggest one priority, my modest core, because it has pushing power for a variety of DPSs. It has a good gold find. It's got good health. And then when I supercharged my modest core first, it's my strongest core currently. But I think when you're starting off, you want to get the fast core to 15 first, just so then you've got all the speed available, you've got good pushing power available, get it up to, you know, full epic, so purple flow across the board, and you can complete a lot of stuff. I think the modest probably should be second, and then you can choose. Did you buy the strong core? I don't know that it's worth it currently. You know, otherwise the magic core would be next. I did try to supercharge my magic core. I wasn't super impressed with it. So after that, I think the first supercharge goal is your modest core, but first leveling up core should be your fast core. Sneevis, should you save the plus item levels until, like, the blacksmithing contracts until you have all epics on that character? I do. I don't think that pumping a lot of item levels into a character early matters that much. Not with blacksmithing contracts. I feel like you're going to be hunting item levels. You're going to be hunting epics for a while. That's going to put item levels onto those champions. So personally, I don't do that. Now, there are exceptions. Obviously, there are speed champions who you can, even if you don't have the epics yet, you can put item levels into and get bonuses for. So like Briv and Human, Sentry, you could potentially throw in there because that's going to get you faster overall progress. Faster overall progress means more gems. More gems means buying more chests. More chests means more blacksmithing contracts, right? There's this loop. There's this loop there that's nice. But yeah, I don't go all in. I wouldn't if I were starting it over from day one, I wouldn't go all in until I would put item levels onto those speed champions first to help speed up my general overall progress and get that loop going better. And then I wouldn't go heavily. I wouldn't start building up item level floors on other champions until I had full epic. Canellan, since it's been a while since his rework, how are you feeling about Lucius DPS now? It's still hard to say. Not because I can't say because of the rework. It's because we're still in the middle of this season. And he's getting some bonuses here, right? Like he's getting the 300% straight up damage here. But there's also a lot of other bonuses going on here that can affect things. Like we've got Nova's the crew. We've got so when I'm running Lucius, I'm running usually a Heroes of Heroes formation. And I'm getting solid effects out of them. I think Lucius is in a much better place. Way better place than he was before. He used to be, for my personal account, my personal rating system for my account, because it's subjective per account, Lucius was bottom tier DPS. Now Lucius is in the middle, which is where I think all champions should be. I don't think there should be. I think everybody should be balanced roughly the same, and and in their best formation, be getting you to roughly the same place. And that's not where the game is, but there are more champions in the top half than the bottom half, so that's good. And Lucius has moved up into that top 3 tiers out of 5 tiers. So I think they're in a good place. And I think that's kind of the goal of a rework. It shouldn't be to make them overpowered. It should be to get them to a good place. And then going forward, as they give us more soft cap upgrades, they can tweak and push people up even higher. Right? Gamer Horus, which one is the speed? So the fast core is the one with the little wings for eyebrows. There's no way to know other than visually, or if you open it up and you look at the bonuses. The fast core is labeled as number 3 because it was the third that was introduced to the game. But this is the modest core. So just the general look. This is the strong core, so it's got the armor on it. This is the fast core, it's winged eyebrows. And this is the magic core. I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but that's the magic core. It's just the gray circle. Yeah. Yeah. They don't have names anywhere, unfortunately. Like in here, it tells you, but you're already in here, so yeah. Randus, who's your favorite least used champion? The one you really want to use but need a major overhaul first. Oh, so my favorite champion that's just not great is where we're going. My favorite champion that's just not great. That's tough. A lot of champions that people think are bad actually aren't bad anymore. They've actually gotten either soft cap upgrades or supports that have helped them out quite a bit. Hold on, I need to pull up something else. Actually, I need to look at it's probably a DPS. I would say Black Viper. Yeah, my eyes went straight to Black Viper. Black Viper used to be my favorite champion in the game, just for visual aesthetic and lore. I just like the Black Viper as a character. She's not great. She's just not great. I know, I see people putting Rosie. Rosie's actually mid-tier DPS for me. Black Viper's 4th tier, so Black Viper's in the bottom section. She's only one of... How many? 1, 2, 3... There's only 9 out of like 30-something DPS, 36 or something DPS. There's only 9 that are what I would call not great. Black Viper's one of them. Rosie's not in that group. Rosie actually hasn't. Rosie's fine. Rosie's in an okay place, folks. With the recent soft cap upgrade, if you can get Rosie to soft cap, she's in an okay place. And that's, yeah. She has enough so good supports for her in the game. Black Viper just is not. Even when you build out a formation that Black Viper wants with her bonuses and stuff, not great. So yeah, it'd be Black Viper. I'd like to see a Black Viper overhaul. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think, like if I'm thinking about like tanks or supports, I feel like most of them are okay now. Stokey could use some love. Xander needs a rework. I mean, he's okay, but they need to get rid of the whole speed thing, or give him a functional speed thing that people consider useful. I mean, it functions, but it's just not useful, and there's a difference. I used to think that Narak needed a major rework, and now I've come around, and he doesn't at all. He's actually, I pushed in the last event. I pushed to area 1438 with him as the DPS. So I apparently just he's now got enough supports that also can qualify for his Githzerai focus that are meta supports, where he's actually really good now. Delena's in a better place than people would think. For people who are, I know somebody's going to go, Delena, but nope. Delena's good. Nordom could probably be better, honestly. Dungeon Master could be better, just as a straight up support. Their other function is they really have these niche functions. Dungeon Master really just exists to bring somebody in that to a variant where you need help. But it would be nice if they were functional outside of that. Nordom really exists to help you speed up your Modron core leveling. He could use better numbers on that if that's his only real function, though. It would be nice for them to be a good functional support, too. I don't know that they are. Eliwick has a few issues with the randomness of her card pulls. But everybody else is... Warden needs to be a better DPS if he's going to have the DPS tag. Everybody else I use, though, and they do well. So we could use more clarity on how Vi's speed effect works. Or give her a better effect. Where can I get this? Where can I get Modron cores? You have to do the Split the Party adventures. So again, Split the Party is available to you once you have the first Split the Party is available to you once you have 2 champions in every slot. You have an alternate champion in every slot. And that gives you your modest core. The fast core you get by having 3 champions in every slot and doing Split the Party 2. The magic core is from having 4 champions in every slot. This is why when a time gate weekend like this one pops up, people are like, who should I choose? And I'm always like, well, how many champions do you have in each slot? I need to know that first. because I'm trying to get everybody to the point where they can unlock all these Modron cores. OP what was your Narak formation? I don't remember. If you check on my stream, that's going to be our last question today. If you check on my stream, Twitch TV/Gaarawarr, spelled like it sounds, but it's right down below here. I think we pushed, I think it was just this past Monday. So this last Monday's Idle Chatter stream should show you my deep push for Narak. If it wasn't this past one, it was the one before that. One of those two was when I should have my Narak formation in it. It's basically all the meta champions. I mean, that's the nice thing, is the meta supports are now great for him. That's going to do it for today's show, folks. Thanks for hanging out. If you want to hang out with me more, you can come over to my channel, again, right down there. In an hour-ish, I got to go get lunch. I got to eat it. And then I got to fire up the stream. It's Final Fantasy Saturday. We play the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters. We're in the middle of Final Fantasy IV. And our main protagonist, I renamed the protagonist, all the characters after people from chat. Our main protagonist, #Jeremy Clawford. So Jeremy Clawford may not be in Idle Champions, but Jeremy Clawford is in our Final Fantasy run. Come hang out with us later today while we play through that. Otherwise, streams will resume on Monday. And remember, Monday night, first episode, Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Far Realm. See you in chat, everybody.
When you're feeling low and against the flow, you just don't know which way to go. Stuck in a cave, down a well, or in the deepest layer of hell. Inventory's full, party's gone. Where did everything go wrong? Do you do? How do you pull through? The adventure isn't done with you. Cast fine familiar, and your day will be looking clearer. Cast fine familiar, and you'll never be alone. Cast fine familiar, and you'll never need to fear. Cast fine familiar, and you'll always have a friend to call your own. You could get a crow or a magic toad, come with you anywhere you go. Perhaps a bat or a fairy cat. Some wizards say that's where it's at. See through their eyes, you're what they hear. They will always lend an ear. You won't feel so blue. They're with you. Their camaraderie always comes through. Cast fire.